Hello students, now we will discuss about Bryophyta members. The term Bryophyta is given by Robert Graham. Term Study of Bryophyta is called bryology. Bryophyta members are said as amphibians of plant kingdom. Because basically these are originated from aquatic plants, but later in course of evolution these organisms have got adopted to live on the moisture area on the land. So we can say their habitat is moist soil or rocks, and but during reproduction they compulsory need water for the fertilization process and need water for reproduction. Vegetatively they are living on the land, but during reproduction these bryophyta need water. So since they are preferring both type of climatic conditions, bryophyta are said as amphibians of plant kingdom. These bryophyta are classified into three classes or three groups. You can say. Three classes or groups. One is liverworts, which is also termed as hepaticopsida. Second one, hornworts, which are also termed as anthoceratopsida. Third one is mosses. Mosses are also means they belong to one of the group, that is Bryopsida. First one under liverworts. Their body shape is just like liver, so they are termed as hepaticopsida. Their plant body will write. So the name liverworts or hepaticopsida. Next, some important points regarding bryophyta are: in bryophytes, the main plant body is called as dominant plant body, which is also termed as gametophyta or gametophyte. This gametophyte is haploid in nature. Haploid means the total plant body is having only one set of chromosomes, so set as gametophyte. The reproductive structures are male sex organs called antheridium. This antheridium produces biflagellated, comma-shaped antherozoids. Biflagellated, comma-shaped antherozoids. Next, female sex organ or female reproductive structure is called archegonium, and this archegonium is flask shaped. Coming to diagrammatic representation of these antherozoids. As we have said, these are comma shaped, so we can draw like this. And biflagellated means two flagella. Coming to archegonium, we have said that they are flask shaped. So here neck type of cell and flask like arrangement will be there. This neck will be having nearly 4 to 6 number of neck cells. And this part which is means giving protection for the egg or female gamete is called as venter, and here will be egg. So this will be the male gamete which is haploid in nature. This is female gamete again which is haploid in nature. We will see some more points related to liverworts. This liverworts total body is liver-like, so we are including this Markantia example under liverworts. Coming to asexual reproduction. Commonly asexual reproduction will be by fragmentation, but especially in case of Markantia, there are some formation of gemma cups. Asexual, right here. Asexual reproduction in liverworts is by fragmentation. In Markantia, asexual reproduction includes formation of gemma cups. Coming to structural differences, Markantia, as we have said, roughly it looks like this. Gemma cups will be here and there, which are formed by fragmentation, asexual reproduction. Now, what about the male and female gametes, that is antheridium and archegonium? In case of antheridium, that is male gamete, it will be some circular in shape like this. In case of female gamete, some flower-like we can say, that is female reproductive structure. So, in case of Markantia, we are telling the plant body is of unisexual type. One plant body produces either male gametes or female gametes. So, here also we can represent the gemma cups. These are rhizoid-like structures or rhizoids. Now, sexual reproduction in liverworts is by oogamy. Actually, if this is the earth surface and here produced is male gamete and here produced is female gamete. Bryophytes are said as amphibians of plant kingdom because they normally live or survive in the moisture area on the land, but during reproduction they need water. Means in the water only reproduction happens. So how? We said that this will be the earth layer or any of the rock or wherever the water is being flown during rainy season like this. During that time, in case of male gamete, here in this edges there will be biflagellated antheridium, means I will give you a structural representation clearly. 1, 2. If the male antheridium is like this, then a male sex organ is like this, then antheridium will be here like this, biflagellate. Okay, biflagellate. Now, what about the female archegonium? So here what happens? It is somewhat roughly like this. Then what happens? These structures will be having means towards the down region, this will be having archegonium like this. We can sort out the structures: neck cells, venter, neck cells, venter, neck cells, venter, neck cells, venter, neck cells, venter. Now, because of the rain and after maturation, both will be falling down, and here there will be floating water. Now we will write separately here. So biflagellated antheridium. Next, here will be the non-motile flask-shaped archegonium. This is female gamete. Archegonium. Now what happens? Now imagine that here is the floating water, and these will be the neck cells. Neck cells are 4 to 6 in number. So here will be the venter. Here will be the egg cell. Now, in this floating water, the neck cells slowly they start releasing some type of chemical called as malic acid. They will write here the point. Neck cells slowly disintegrate or they get damaged and releases malic acid. Then these floating male gametes or antheridium, they will be attracted by that acidic nature and will be moving towards it. So we said that these are slowly disintegrated, so that this male gamete will be moving in through the neck into the venter where egg is present. So here, after entry of the male gamete and fusion with that of egg, fertilization happens. Again I am telling, male gamete and will be floating in the water. These neck cells starts disintegrating and they releases some type of acid, chemical substance, nothing but malic acid. Because of that attraction, the neck cells will be, the male gametes will be moving towards the venter. Venter, the cells present here are used as food material. Now, the male gamete reaches the egg and fertilization happens. So first, after fertilization, zygote forms. Now, zygote is diploid in a nature, means having 2 sets of chromosomes. And also, zygote is unicellular. Now, zygote undergoes mitotic division to give out special structure called as sporophyte. Undergoes mitosis and gives us sporophyte. Sporophyte is also diploid in nature, but as it is having many number of cells, sporophyte is said as diploid multicellular. Zygote is diploid unicellular. Now, this sporophyte undergoes meiosis. It gives out now the structures which are haploid in nature called as spores. Meiosis is nothing but reduction division. One sporophyte gives 4 number of haploid spores. These spores germinate. They give out gametophyte. Gametophyte produces male and female gametes in case of Bryophyta, because after germination directly plant body is produced. So we say that in case of liverworts, the fertilization or the development is direct. Spore is germinating, giving rise to directly the plant body. So the development in case of liverworts is direct. It is not indirect. So these are important points related to liverworts. Liverworts have hygroscopic, spore dispersal structures called true elaters. So whenever a term elater has come, here when we are discussing about Bryophyta, think that these are some structures that are responsible for dispersing of the spores to different areas. So liverworts are having true elaters. So these are hygroscopic spore dispersal structures. Next one, hornworts, which are also called as Anthorotopsida. Now, here there are not much points given for our NCRT. One example we will read, that is under hornworts, Anthoceros. These hornworts during the spore stage, they have some horn-like structures. Those are called as pseudo-elaters. Those are not directly involved in seed dispersal or spore dispersal. They have pseudo-elaters. Sporophyta stage has horn-like structures called pseudo-elaters. So the name given as hornworts. These points are enough related to hornworts. Next, coming to mosses. So mosses are also called as Bryopsida. Means they are included under class Bryopsida, or they belong to class Bryopsida. Now, Neria, sphagnum, polytrichum. Now coming to the structures of Funaria. This is leafy-like structure, means gametophyte we can say. Funaria. On this develops the Sporophyta structure with the capsule. Mosses are characterized by their leafy structure and more developed spore dispersal structures. In case of hornwort and mosses, Sporophyta is dependent on Gametophyta. In hornworts and mosses, Sporophyta is dependent on Gametophyta. But Sporophyte is photosynthetic. So we can say sporophyte is semi-parasite on gametophyte. But sporophyte is photosynthetic. So, considered as semi-parasite on gametophyte. In case of mosses, body is divided into foot, stem-like setae, and capsule. Capsule is well developed with teeth-like structures called peristomes. Teeth-like structures. When they open at the teeth-like structures or peristome region, then all the spores will be dispersed into water. Asexual reproduction is by fragmentation. Coming to sexual reproduction. In case of sexual reproduction, in mosses especially, is by oogamy. Now here, in case of male sex organs, name is antheridium. Female sex organ, name is archegonium. We will write the plant body, gametophyte, the same structure we are writing here. We are taking the funaria as an example and explaining the sexual reproduction in bryophyte. So, funaria, sexual reproduction, oogamy we will write. Funaria is said as monoecious. Monoecious means bisexual. Means having both male and female structure in same plant body. Now, let's take the female archegonium and also the male sex organ, male gametes. So we will represent with a different color. So when rain falls, all this area will be filled of water. In the same plant body, gamete on the upper region, it is just like a closed pouch-like arrangement. See, you can say this funaria is like this. So all this area will be filled with water. Now, when during the rainy season, when the rain starts falling, the spores are dispersed into the water that is accumulated on the topmost region. So what happens? The same structure I will draw here. Here will be the female gamete, that is archegonium, and spores that are released from the male sex organ, antheridium, will be like this. These are released from male sex organ. So here will be the egg. Now, male gametes will be entering through the next cell. So we can label here, this is next cell. And here only the zygote forms. So it leads to formation of, after fertilization, we see zygote. Now, zygote is, again, we can write some more points like zygote is diploid, unicellular. Unicellular. I am erasing these points related to funaria, that is monoecious, bisexual, having male and female gametes. So you please note down this. I am erasing these points. Now, zygote undergoes mitosis now. It gives out sporophyte. Sporophyte is also diploid structure, but sporophyte is multicellular. Sporophyte undergoes meiosis, gives out spores. Spores are haploid nature. Spores, now they germinate. After germination, spores give, in case of liverworts, we see, germinate to give out protonema. Protonema is a long thread-like structure. Protonema is also haploid. Now, this develops into, so here we can use a term like, this is primary protonema, which is thallus-like. Now it develops into secondary protonema, means next development. In case of here, the same protonema, here and there, it develops some bud-like structures. So bud-like structures are developed on this thallus-like structure, now with leaf-like structures also. So we can say secondary protonema is leafy-like or leafy stage. These are called as buds. Later, these buds will be separated and they will be developed into gametophyte. Buds develop into gametophyte. These gametophytes later produces male and female gametes. Here, in case of mosses, we have seen the Sporophyta is giving spores. Spores after germination, they are not directly giving out gametophyte, but they are coming across two different structures called as protonema, primary protonema, secondary protonema. So, the development in case of mosses is not direct, it is indirect. We will write here, development is indirect. But in case of liverworts, development is direct. In case of funaria, development, or in case of mosses, development is indirect. So coming to examples, funaria we have seen and explained all the structures. Here we are seeing Sporophyta, till its complete development, it is dependent on gametophyta only. But in case of Marchantia, we did not see like that. Next one, we will see some of the other terms that are related to funaria, sphagnum and polytrichum. Funaria, it is also called as cod moss. Other terms for funaria: cod moss. Sphagnum is called as peat moss. Next, polytrichum is also called as hair cap moss. Now, funaria is also called as rope moss or green moss. Rope moss or green moss. Sphagnum has a nature of absorbing water. So, sphagnum is used as a packing agent to absorb moisture or water from living material. So, it is used during packaging times to remove all the water. So, the lifespan of the packed or canned material will be longer. Sphagnum used in packaging. because of its water absorbing nature. These are important points related to liverworts, hornworts and mosses.